CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
This is clearly a case of a left-wing activist group, Alberta Resistance, that is using recall, that is weaponizing it to force a general election.
Tonight on CTV News, petitions are approved to recall 6 new UCP MLAs. Good evening and thank you for joining us. 6 new recall petitions have been issued for UCP MLAs, pushing that total to 9. One of the latest is Service Alberta Minister Dale Nally. He claims a left-wing activist group is behind the attempt to recall him, but the St. Albert man who put forth the recall petition says he's just a regular citizen with no hidden agenda. The person behind the petition is Josh Eberhardt. He says the government's use of the notwithstanding clause on teachers and the lack of funding for healthcare pushed him to do this. He takes offense to the fact that the minister and other MLAs say the recall movement is the work of an activist group. That includes this letter from Nally sent to Elections Alberta questioning Eberhardt's voting record. In it, Nally writes, according to Elections Alberta data, Joshua Eberhardt does not vote in provincial elections. The question then becomes, how does someone who doesn't even vote get talked into leading a recall? Adding that this approach contradicts the spirit of recall legislation, and therefore this application is without merit.
This is clearly a case of a left-wing activist group, Alberta Resistance, that is using recall, that is weaponizing it to force a general election.
Okay, we're going to take one more.
Why are you attacking the man's voting record? Also, he tells me it's not true that he does actually vote in provincial elections.
Okay, I'm not going to comment on any specifics.
Eberhardt says he's not big into politics and he doesn't vote in every election. He's pushing back on the organized activist comments.
When I first filed, I think Dale had a response that this was a well-funded, well-organized organization, and my wife kind of cracked a joke. She's like, you're not well-organized or well-funded. So, no, it's just me.
Elections Alberta confirmed that 6 new petitions today include Cabinet Ministers Rajan Sawhney, Miles McDougall, Dale Nally, and RJ Sigurdsson. The other 2 are Rick McIver and Mohammed Yassin. Dimitrios Nicolaides, Nolan Dick, and Angela Pitt round out the 9. Under the Act, the applicant has 90 days to collect enough names from people in the constituency. The number must be equal to 60% of the votes cast in the 2023 election. So in Eberhardt's case, he would need to collect 15,700 signatures for this to go to the next level. Alberta is moving forward with its plan to shift towards a dual healthcare model, allowing some doctors to work publicly and privately. CTV's Evan Kenny has the details.
Bill 11 simply provides patients and healthcare professionals flexibility.
After revealing its plans last week to revamp Alberta's healthcare system, the province is now detailing how it will start rolling out a dual practice model. If Bill 11 passes, it would allow some doctors to provide both public and private care.
Alberta patients will continue to receive care through a strong public health system, but will also have the option to purchase services they are currently waiting for.
For now, those services would include knee, hip, and cataract surgeries. Surgeons may also be required to perform a number of publicly funded surgeries or a ratio of them in order to also offer private ones.
We have different supply and demand profiles for different specialties and surgeons, and those will change over time depending on our ability to train, attract, and retain healthcare professionals.
The province says family doctors will not be allowed to join the dual program. It also says cancer care and emergency rooms will continue to stay covered by the public plan with no private options. The province says the dual system will cut down on wait times for surgeries and give people more options.
What's changing here is the flexibility to toggle between public and private on a case-by-case and patient-by-patient basis.
The opposition says it won't help the average Albertan.
People who can afford to pay will certainly see their wait times go down, but the rest of us will see our wait times go up unless there's way more doctors, way more anesthetists, way more nurses, way more people doing the surgeries, and there is no plan for any of that.
The province says it wants to walk before it runs and would have the tools to change the legislation if needed. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thousands of nursing care workers will vote this week on the deal reached between the AUPE and Alberta Health Services.
Our unity and our determination brought AHS right to the edge, and they chose not to jump.
Edmonton workers showed up at the picket line Saturday morning and were told that an agreement had been reached. AUPE represents roughly 16,000 workers, including licensed practical nurses, healthcare aides, and operating room techs. The agreement includes a base wage increase of 12% over 4 years, plus more in market adjustments. Licensed practical nurses will see their wages increase by roughly 24%. Healthcare aides will get a wage hike of roughly 17%. Union leaders say staffing shortages still need to be addressed.
This short staffing is not going to go away. We still have a 12% vacancy rate, and those are the things that we continue to push for.
Alberta's finance minister says the settlement reflects strong wage offers. The union will present all the details to members tomorrow during a couple of town halls. A ratification vote will follow shortly after. A new site has been officially chosen for a new standalone Stollery Children's Hospital. As CTV's Amanda Anderson tells us, despite government promises to expedite the project, the new facility is still several years away from becoming a reality.
The Stollery Hospital means the world to my family.
Jody Richardson says the Stollery Children's Hospital is the reason her daughter Emmy is here today. But the parent has also experienced some of the challenges plaguing the hospital, including lack of space.
You don't have that privacy. You don't have that space where you can take a deep breath and just be the parent to your child, because you're tiptoeing around other people's challenges and other people's crying kids who are in pain. And it's so much harder on the worst day of your life to also hear so many other people and children in pain.
After years of advocating for the Stollery to have its own dedicated building.
This is a historic moment for kids' health and for every family who's walked through the doors of the Stollery.
The government announced this land on the U of A's South Campus will be the future site of a new children's hospital.
The site is undeveloped green space, which means construction can proceed without demolishing or relocating buildings, allowing us to streamline the timeline and quickly build the best facility possible.
Alberta's infrastructure minister says now planning and design work will begin. $11 million was included in the 2025 budget for that work to proceed.
We wrapped up the business case last year, and we're on track to finish the rest of the planning phases in 2026. Then we will secure the funding necessary to carry out the construction.
The Hospital Foundation has launched a $1 billion fundraising campaign to help build and make it one of the best for care, research, and innovation.
To redefine what's possible in pediatric care across Alberta, Western Canada, and beyond.
The foundation having to announce that they're expected to fundraise $1 billion is a big ask for the foundation. I wish the government would have come here today with a timeline and some money.
The government says the cost and timeline for the new children's hospital will become more clear once the design is finished.
The Minister of Infrastructure and I are working with our departments to see if we can expedite the construction of this particular hospital.
Still, the project could be 5 to 8 years away from completion. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A 65-year-old cyclist is dead following a collision in southeast Edmonton. It happened yesterday around 2 p.m. Police say the cyclist was crossing 34th Street at 28A Avenue where he was hit by an SUV. He was taken to hospital where he later died. This is the 31st traffic-related death in our city this year. Now, in response to the rising number of traffic deaths, a local cycling advocate group is speaking out against the city's Vision Zero plan. The group penned a lengthy article on Substack. They say the Vision Zero goal of no traffic-related serious injuries by 2032 isn't attainable. The organization's lead volunteer says he believes that council wants to achieve this safety goal, although he doesn't feel that they're doing enough.
We're just not aligning what we say we're doing and the actual projects we're spending money on. And the really frustrating thing is that safer infrastructure is faster to build, cheaper to build, and it's safer for everyone, including drivers. We have simple solutions to these things. We just need to build them.
In a statement, the city's Safe Mobility Director, Jessica Lamar, says our streets are a shared space for everyone, and we all have a role in protecting each other as we work towards our Vision Zero goal. She says that a report, the Municipal Traffic Safety Expansion Opportunity, will be in front of council next week for discussion, adding that the city will make a more fulsome response when the supplementary operating budget adjustment discussions are complete. Police say the death of a man at a northwest Edmonton home this weekend appears to be suspicious. Officers were called to the area of 157 Avenue and 130 A Street yesterday afternoon to do a welfare check. They found the man's body inside the home. An autopsy is scheduled for Thursday. Edmonton police say a person's death in an apartment fire isn't criminal. Edmonton Fire says crews found the body while fighting the early morning fire. Crews were called to the fire at 118 Street and 102 Ave just before 2:30 this morning. It took crews less than an hour to bring the fire under control. The city is planning 10 new housing projects, with most of the new units aimed at low-income Edmontonians. The city donated the land for housing, which has been designed to address a number of different needs. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Part of this field in the northwest Dunluce neighborhood has been set aside for decades, earmarked for a school that was never built and, according to school authorities, is no longer needed. Now the site has new purpose.
While this won't solve every problem, it's going to make a huge dent in affordable housing needs across Edmonton.
The field in Dunluce will soon feature 96 townhomes, half of them rented at below market rates. It's one of 10 surplus school sites the city has sold to various affordable housing providers for $1 each. 1,300 units are on the way. About 70% are designated as low income, with a range of subsidies. Some of these housing projects were designed with specific needs or communities in mind. The 5-story apartment complex being built here in Carnarvon is Indigenous-led and will incorporate cultural practices.
To have the ability to smudge and to be able to be who we are, I think is important.
One project has multi-generational families in mind. Another will be run by Winhouse, focused on help for women fleeing domestic violence. While money from the Federal Housing Accelerator Fund is getting these projects off the ground, Alberta is funding housing too.
We're over 90,000 affordable housing units here in the province already. We're working on another 82,000 affordable households at the moment.
The mayor says these projects have helped the city surpass its affordable housing goals for the time being, but there's always more to do.
Edmonton has been fortunate to be considered the most affordable major city in Canada when it comes to housing. We didn't get there by accident. We got there by deliberate decisions over the last decade. We're going to continue to do that work.
Construction in Carnarvon and other areas will start next year, with people moving in by 2028. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The 50th Street Bridge over the White Mud has reopened ahead of schedule. Construction on the bridge started in April and was expected to be complete by next year. The project included structural repairs as well as improvements to the bridge deck, barriers, and drainage. Construction affected traffic flow on the bridge and on the White Mud. All lanes are now open. A new deal may be coming later this week to pave the way for a new pipeline from Alberta to the BC coast. Sources say a memorandum of understanding is in the works between Alberta and the federal government, but it would lack buy-in from the people whose land it would run through. CTV's Kevin Green reports.
When asked about a pipeline deal Sunday, Prime Minister Mark Carney stuck to his nation-building script.
Big picture, what we're looking to do and what we are doing is a series of major investments, nation-building projects that make our country stronger, more independent from the United States.
And on her weekend radio show, Premier Danielle Smith says she's been in constant contact with her federal counterpart.
And I really hope that we will have an agreement ready and available to be released soon.
Sources say the memorandum of understanding that's expected to be signed this week will push the pipeline project forward and will necessitate some kind of carve-out from the tanker ban along the BC coast. It's also expected to scrap the planned federal emissions cap, bolster carbon capture, and change the industrial carbon tax. Environmental groups say it's not worth the cost.
Not enough is happening here. This is not striking a balance. It is not a grand bargain at all. It's a raw deal.
And in BC, the plan is landing with a thud. The province's premier says it isn't even a pipeline deal, it's political posturing. Coastal First Nation leaders warn any deal affecting the tanker ban signed without them is dead in the water.
Consultation for them is going to be a tough road. I don't believe it's going to happen.
Trade experts, meanwhile, say global markets will be watching whether Canada proves it can move major projects from talk to construction.
So it's a question of whether or not we can play with the big boys, or whether or not we're going to continue to be sitting on the porch watching the world go by. So they're going to want to see some certainty that this isn't just talk.
The federal government says it wants the backing of BC as well as Indigenous communities. Alberta wants to leverage private sector capital, but a memorandum of understanding is not a contract to start construction and does not guarantee that will ever happen. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
The Oilers are back in Edmonton and are preparing for their first home game in more than 2 weeks.
It's been a long stretch, tough stretch. We've played a lot of hockey in a short period of time across a number of different cities. So tough stretch. Nice to be home, obviously.
The Oilers played 7 road games and picked up their first regulation win in nearly a month, beating the Florida Panthers 6-3 on Saturday night. The Oilers now play 6 of their next 7 games at home. Captain Connor McDavid says he wants to take full advantage of having full practices on home ice since the team only held shorter morning skates during their road trip. Just ahead, getting active and engaged. How a group of local runners are staying on track even as the weather begins to turn. Plus, making Christmas bright. We look at a local staple of Edmonton's holiday season.
I do a lot of reading the comments, and one of the big comments are people are depressed. They come here, depression is gone.
Good evening, folks. Heavy snow across southern parts of the province through the first half of the day today here in Edmonton. 0 for a daytime high and no snow. A lot of minus signs on these temperatures around the map, and we'll see some minus signs in front of our daytime highs for the rest of the week. Still not a lot of snow in the forecast, though. Full look at your 5-day in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Christmas is 1 month away, and many people are getting into the holiday spirit. One man in Edmonton has been planning for this since September. CTV's Connor Hogg shows us what he's been working on.
Anybody I run into that lives anywhere from Leon's to Clearview, North End, they know of the house.
With Christmas around the corner, the lights are back on at Maisie's Magical Christmas House. A North Edmonton mainstay for more than 20 years, it's a lot of work to create this much Christmas. And like always, the man responsible for all this merriment is Jerry Dolenchuk.
I like creating things and getting people's response on it.
Dolenchuk is a self-described perfectionist with an eye for holiday detail. In order to organize this much decor, he starts setting up in September, beginning with Halloween, before transitioning to Christmas.
You could just see the smiles on their face. They get in a good mood. And, I do a lot of reading the comments, and one of the big comments are people are depressed. They come here, depression is gone, they're happy, they're in a good mood.
Walking through this winter wonderland during the day, it's possible to see the months of work that go into building Maisie's Christmas house. The nearly acre-sized display now having spread to the neighbors as well.
The very first day I moved in, Jerry came over to visit and welcomed me to the neighborhood. And one of his first questions, he goes, "How do you feel about Christmas?"
Luckily, Clinton Beck is a Christmas person too, and started his own display after he moved in next door 15 years ago. After a while, Beck asked Dolenchuk if he had any ideas for the yard next door.
No, I got enough to do. And then one day I just caved.
I just said, "Jerry, do whatever you need to do, you go nuts."
With Maisie's this big, the display raises money for animals in need through SCARS. Maisie's namesake would approve. The display started small, with one set of lights lit up to give Dolenchuk's mother Maisie some Christmas cheer.
She knows what I'm like. She probably would expect me to get here.
Maisie's Magical Christmas House, currently 2 houses big, with the potential to get a little bigger.
I'm actually a little bit into the next neighbors now, too.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A national fitness report says less than half of Canadian adults meet the recommended weekly requirements for physical activity. Now, as the cold sets in, Edmontonians will have to work even harder to get moving. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti explains.
Every week, the Sunday Social Group meets at a different park in Edmonton, no matter if it's plus or minus 30 degrees.
They say all you really need is a pair of running shoes and a good attitude. There's no bad weather, only bad clothing choices.
Jen Hamill has been trail running for 13 years. The weekly meetup is welcome for new and experienced runners.
It doesn't matter what your gender, what your occupation, what your age is, really. Trail running specifically seems to be good for everybody that likes to be outdoors, really.
I do love to come out. It's brought me a sense of community that can often be missing in an urban environment.
The group runs between 10 to 15 kilometers every week. A national report by Participation shows less than half of Canadian adults meet the recommendation of moderate to vigorous physical activity a week.
From my perspective, that's not too bad, but definitely we would like to see more Canadians meeting guidelines.
U of A professor John Spence took part in the report by Participation. He says people typically take more steps if they spend time outside, but where you live can be a barrier.
No question for Alberta, especially north central Alberta, that it will impact the amount of time that people, are spending outside.
Regardless of the harsh Alberta winters, this running group isn't letting it stop them. The views of the river valley doesn't hurt either.
It's actually a form of meditation. When you're running in nature, you can quiet your mind. You can focus on other things like the surrounding areas.
The feeling at the end of the workout is always the best reward.
We got out and got active for a couple of hours in the morning when we could have been sitting in bed or just sitting on the couch drinking coffee.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
After the break, do you know where you are? One of the biggest rock bands of all time welcomes Edmonton to the jungle.
Tuesday in your morning, getting men and boys involved in the conversation about domestic violence. And artist Lance Cardinal's here to talk about miniature art growing in popularity.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Welcome back. Temperature's pretty close to average today. -7 this morning, 0 for a daytime high. This will be the last time we touch 0 until, there's a slight chance, maybe early next week. That would be our next best chance of seeing some heavier snow in the Edmonton area as well. There's a chance of flurries for Friday. Really doesn't look like it's going to amount to much, if anything, here in the Edmonton area. Maybe Monday of next week if you're hoping for some snow. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies, light wind. We'll see a bit of cloud cover across the northeast and starting to increase further to the west and northwest. So some of that cloud cover will move in late tomorrow night, and we're under a mix of sun and cloud for Wednesday. This is the big story, though. Not bad today. Into the mild air around the freezing mark. Watch the darker blues, though, drop further and further south as the week goes on. Daytime highs by Friday. Saturday will be in the -10 range. So we're going to wake up to temperatures around -10 tomorrow. Keep that in mind as you walk outside tomorrow morning. That will be the warmest temperature we'll see Friday and Saturday. -10s in Fort McMurray tomorrow, -15s for Grand Prairie in the morning, and about -14 in Red Deer. Back into the -4 to -8 range for northeastern Alberta. -5, -7 through the Peace Country. White Quarter about -3. -4 in Red Deer and Coronation, and Lloydminster and Jasper in the -6, -7 range for daytime highs. Here in the city, we'll be around -6 by Wednesday. Tomorrow, though, not a bad day. Sunshine, light wind, and -2, pretty close to average. -8 Thursday, there's your -10 range highs for Friday, Saturday. Again, Friday, chance of flurries. Looks like if we see any heavier snow in the province on Friday, it's probably in southern Alberta once again. Not much expected here in the Edmonton area. We'll see what happens early next week, though. You can get a little bit of a bump in temperatures there Monday, and that could bring some accumulating snow to our area. Aside from that, not much snow, just some much colder air over most of the next week and a half. That is your forecast.
One of the best-selling rock bands of all time is coming to Commonwealth Stadium. Guns N' Roses will take the stage next August 26th. It's part of their Stadium World Tour, and one of only 3 Canadian stops. The tour comes with 2 brand new singles called Nothing and Atlas, both of which are out next week. The general sale goes next Friday at 10 a.m. Heck of a show. One of my favorite childhood bands. You might catch me at Commonwealth next summer. That's all from us on this Monday night. Thanks for kickstarting your week with us here on CTV Edmonton. We'll do it all over again tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Until then, take care and bye for now.